Hello guys, and welcome back to another video of Dawn of the Flood. Here today presenting the Rising Tides update, a much awaited update for you guys, because it covers one of the best things ever you guys have wanted me to cover for a long time, and that is the Blightlands. And I'm just checking to record because I've made a big mistake, and I don't know what the hell happened, but I filmed this once, 56 minutes, and all gone to waste. It was pure waste because with sweat and in this heat, in these heat and hot temperatures, I just lost 56 minutes of a good video because I don't know why my OBS recorded a black screen the entire time. Like, what the frick is going on? I wanna ask, like, what in the world is actually going on? Because it's just, man, it's just not okay. Like, I don't know why, but every time this keeps happening, I get like super mad and all like why did this have to go this way? Okay, but hopefully this time there's no more black screens, no more fools around. Like, can we finally get a video? Like, come on. Hopefully we can, cause I'm just whatever. Again, this update brings in a lot of stuff since, as I call it and others have called it, it's the biggest update yet of Dawn of the Flood and probably the best. And so the first thing you guys probably noticed is that we have sorted and selected the mod in such a way that we now have 3 unique tabs. And so, if you guys have not seen that video in which I showed the guns, of course, I must oblige you to go and watch it because I will not show all of them again. I will just show a few of them which I really like. And besides that, I'm going to show the new grenades, new models, new textures, and new animations, as well as a new weapon, the shields, the portable shields, and more. Besides, regarding combat. So yeah, first of all, let's get the guns. I want to actually show. And the bullets, we also have added new bullets. Instead of placeholders, we now have fully finished and like crafted bullets with which are really cool and stuff. It's just ammo, okay. You guys got got the idea probably. But first of all, before getting into the guns, we must show the new grenades, which are very cool. First of all, the fragment grenade, which has not changed a lot actually. And let me just drink some water because my throat is dry. Which has not changed a lot because there was not much that could have been done about it. However, the animation has changed. And we also have added this developer zoom, which when I press C, oh, also the explosion particle when it explodes. This new like C button, which makes you zoom just like an Optifine. However, this should not be available to you players, like the player base, only me, since I'm the developer, and this is the developer zoom. And we also have the plasma grenade, which has gotten a few more changes actually. First of all, there's the new ignite sound, just like in Halo. Ignition sound. Besides that, it also sticks to entities now. So yeah, with that being said, those are the grenades, and I'm trying to speedrun because I'm like really tired. It was a 1 hour that just gone to waste, as I said. So yeah, I'm trying to like, I don't know why, probably because it was in full screen and I don't know what happened, bro. I can't lie, I don't know what happened. But this is still recording and it's recording the game, which is good. Should be at least, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, now the guns, which one more time I tell you, if you haven't seen the video with all the guns, then I must oblige you to go and watch it. Because I will not show all of them again. Red Holo, if you target an entity. Wait, that was not the freaking Magnum, okay. the Mangler. These guns all have like special abilities to their own, like the Magnum had that scope. The Mangler also does more damage in headshots. It does a lot as a headshot. Because it's a brute weapon, and if you guys know, the Mangler was like selected by the brute shot because it's a headshot favorite. The M90 shotgun with new recoil animations and whatever. And you can also interrupt its reloading system to just fire once again, or just melee or whatever. Inspect and what else? The CQS Bulldog. One of my favorites now, it's the MA5B assault rifle. With actual holographic or holodynamic ammunition system. You can see the bullets going down and up whenever you reload, that is. Another one of my favorites, the sniper, SRS 99 sniper, which comes with also a bipod variant. And also this full scope, but it has a special ability. If you click X, it has this night vision. And now, definitely my favorite weapon, which is the most destructive one as well, is the brute shot. A grenade launcher also preferred by the brute forms. The inspect animation. Click V to inspect the gun. Click Z to melee. And of course left click to shoot. Right click to aim. And R to reload. With that being said, those are the guns I wanted to showcase actually. Now time for the weapons. We have the energy stave, which is a new weapon, the shields, which are really not that special. I'll show you what they do, but they're just not that special, okay? They're really simple. We have the energy stave, the new weapon, as I said, which for now doesn't come with third-person player animations because I didn't have time to make those. We will make them eventually. They're just the energy sword ones for now. Thank you. Also comes with double attack, and unlike other weapons, you must actually point at the creature you are trying to hit. It's not like with the energy sword or gravity hammer, which you can just look in this direction and hit it from here. That's not the same thing. But the shields are what I want to talk about because they're not that special yet. They're just cool looking shields for me. I don't know what even made them special in Halo from the first place. I just wanted to add them. They're just really simple. I mean, come on. For example, if it were for a zombie, what it does, apart from that, is just like play that sound and extra knockback. That's it. It also has infinite durability. That's they all act the same. They come in 3 variants. That pinkish red, that blue, and that yellow. Same with the Covenant portable shields. Which, if you, let's say, let me get on creative right now. I don't think these are that special as well, but they look really cool. They act just like blocks to block arrows. They cannot be crafted yet, since, as I said, I've yet to find a purpose for them. You can't obtain them in survival mode just yet. And as you can see, those two have some particle problems, which I should fix soon. But yeah, that being said, that was the combat tab done. Now, here's another fun part I'm trying to show. Wait, is it filming again? Because I don't see if it actually is. Yeah, it is, I think. Okay. I can't see the inventory because of the OBS film screen, whatever. For the gun workbench, we will have the new materials, or crafting materials. The tungsten bolts, tungsten bushings, tungsten gear, tungsten plate, tungsten trigger, tungsten tubes, and tungsten gun magazine. They all come in handy for the gun workbench crafting. Either crafting guns, grenades, whatever other recipes you must name. However, besides that, we have also added a tungsten door. Why is it so special, you might ask? Well, because the flood cannot break the door like any other door, and it's also openable via the hand. It's not like an iron door. We've also reworked the sulfur textures, as you can see, the block and dust. Now, it's not an ingot anymore, it's dust. And now, to obtain these, as you use them in the gun workbench, for every gun, as you can see, and ammo. These are the Kimiktsuru, they have reworked name now. Also the weapons, they use these materials, and to make them is actually really simple. Everything you need is a crafting table, and I'll show you all recipes right now, because I know them from the top of my head, surprisingly. I've made this once again, so yeah. This is the plate. What? Wait. What am I doing, bro? These are the bolts. These are the gears. These are the tubes. These are the bushings. This is the trigger. Only one. This is the gun magazine. Okay. With all those items, you can now craft the guns. Now, why have we made those items? Well, the answer to that is really simple and straightforward. We didn't want you guys to craft the guns so easily because they're really powerful now. The new gun system is actually really powerful, and I'll show that with the Warden. Because I know for a fact that one reload of this full weapon, one full reload of this weapon can kill the Warden, and so can any other weapon. Like the shotgun can kill a Warden in like 3 hits. Well, of course, that is. If you want to use these guns on like a taxi or something. And I still got bullets left. And it killed that Warden. So yeah, that was one thing. And it also wouldn't make sense realistically to only craft guns with like ingots. Okay? It would kind of be cooler like this and more immersive if you just added more crafting, more like intermediary items. Now, for the part that probably the second most wanted part you guys wanted to see, it's actually the new enemies. These are the Grenadier form, which is a variant, you'll see. The Creeper form, Flooded Creeper, I know, just wait. And I have a saying and why we added it. It's not just like pure for difficulty. It actually makes sense why we added it. I'll tell you guys about it in just a second. The Brute form, the Bomber form, and my favorite, or one of my favorite, the Tank form, which is only one. We didn't add the other shifter forms because we will add those in the future. You know, guys, we've had some like it's a good update, but it could have been better. Still, as I say it always, but it's still phenomenal. You'll see what I mean. First of all, let's spawn the Grenadier form. And what you guys just saw was the new jump scare system we've implemented, which adds jump scares into Minecraft, either animated or not animated. Now let's talk about the Grenadier form. I'll talk about the jump scares as well, but as I said, the other video was like 1 hour long. I talk about everything, and still it was like a gun to waste. But this one, the Grenadier form, is special. It can only spawn when a proto-grave mine exists. Alright? That's the only way how it spawns. Now, what it does, I mean, it makes sense why he only spawns when a proto-grave mine exists, and that is because he possesses a high intelligence capacity factor. Hence why he can throw grenades, be a marine variant, and also plant landmines like that. Underneath that, might I say, they do not actually activate when a flood enemy walks onto them. It only activates when I walk onto one of them, or any other living entity that is not a flood enemy. Okay? That's why he only spawns when a proto-grave mine is active. And he also throws grenades like that. As you just saw. You can test it some more. Now, going back to the jump scares, as I mentioned, that jump scare you just saw was the the base form jump scare, which will only play once you actually meet a base form for the first time in the world. These also can spawn with plasma grenades as well, but I do not really want to spawn them because look, they create a mess. They're just for siege purposes, and you will see how not that strong, but they play a really important factor in the flood missions. Now also, as I said, it's a marine variant, so if it's close to a skeleton, it starts going melee. Okay. Alright. And now about the jump scare, that was the base form jump scare. There's also one more jump scare because that one scared me as well. The first time I filmed it, okay, the base form one, because I forgot about it. There's also a proto-grave mine one, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Now let's talk about the flooded creeper. First of all, let me kill this guy, of course. And now I know what you guys think. You think this is just all for difficulty reasons and that the flooded creeper sounds absurd because how can the flood even infect a flooded creeper? Well, that is pretty easy to explain. Actually, no, it's not. But I'll explain it anyway. So, this form, like many other, composes of multiple biomass materials and regenerative flesh that the flood latches onto its targets that get infected. That's why the flooded creeper can only spawn when a proto-grave mine exists. Again. However, the flooded creeper also has special abilities. How it spawns, it's not just based on the Blightlands and the proto-grave mine. It also spawns in daylight. Like now, you guys have asked me to make base forms spawn in daylight. I did that. Base forms will now spawn in daylight sometimes. In broad daylight if the intel cap is high enough. I'll talk about the intel cap in just a second as well and what it represents for Dawn of the Flood. But yeah, this is the flooded creeper model and entity. And it acts as a clone by the flood. That's created by the flood as a clone for the normal creeper to be a counterpart. And as you guys just saw, he has this massive tentacle which works as a melee weapon because he can now melee attack you and other players and other entities as well. He is still really fast because this one was purely based off the rework of a Fire Die Mutations creeper, since as you guys probably remember, the ones who have played Fire Die Mutations, we had a creeper there. But that one was just rushing at you fast and just exploding once it gets to you. This one doesn't do actually. It doesn't do that. It's actually a bit more complex. Since, as you just saw there, it wasn't low on health, but still it decided to explode. That is one ability that it possesses, and that is the wall breaching ability, or the massacre ability, how we call it. Basically, when it's low on speed, it has blocks nearby, and it can break through them, of course. This siege ability activates, which basically makes it detonate, auto-detonate, and it's just solely based on the purpose that when you get like followed into your home by a flooded creeper and maybe other creatures, the flooded creeper will detonate and create a wall, like create a hole in your wall that will just let the other flood forms pass through and flood your home. That's how it works. Okay. And with that being said, that's one ability. Now the second ability is if and only if the creeper, the flooded creeper, has a target. And oh, also that's the leaping ability because it can also leap. But if he also gets close to an entity or a target and is low on health, he will detonate automatically and release spot infectors, break some blocks, but it's not as destructive as a creeper explosion because, as I said, it's a clone. It's not the actual creeper. It's more so a clone based by the proto grave mine, because that's why you can't even get infected directly. The flood creeper cannot. It's not getting attacked by anything, as you know. The creeper is not. So that's why it's only a clone. That only spawns when a proto grave mine is active, because it's created in that same way, like many others. Okay, that being said, we've covered 2 of them. Now it's time for the third, the brute form. Special entity, and just like the marine form and Sangheli forms, they only spawn in wave 4 and upwards. The way it spawns is same as those 2 creatures. However, with the new intel cap, which I haven't yet dabbled into to explain very well, how it works is that these new guys, Marines, Sanghelis, brute forms, possess new abilities with each intel cap threshold, which is at 300 points. Basically, each 300 intel points, the Flood unlocks a new ability through the Proto Grave Mind with its intelligence. As you can see, this guy has spawned, but if we spawn a few more, and he also has a variant, yes, that's true, a red variant, with more armor, that's the only thing it adds, we can see that nothing spawns in its main hand. Not even a weapon, not even a gravity hammer, because yes, they can also possess those and use them. But when the time is right and the intel cap is enough, they will start to spawn with weapons. Now they possess this Berserker ability, which they just jump like high in the air, and they just destroy everything in their path. They're really strong as well. They're stronger than a Sangheli for sure. And yes, that is the brute form. There's more to talk about, like these attacks it possesses, and also the jump that's called the Berserk. But that's not like really something I can show you, because I mean I just did. But if there's anything else to explain, you will see on the wiki if you read it, or just ask us, because I don't want to make this video 1 hour long like I did the one that gone to waste. Because like, bro, that's, come on, like it's just exhausting really. But I remembered something, and Martin actually asked me to, but I want to show you guys the newly buffed Juggernaut form. So, the Titan form and Juggernaut form both got buffed. Titan form got more health and more movement speed, like it's faster now, okay? Its movement speed increased. The Juggernaut form has got its health buffed, but has also unlocked 2 more abilities as a Keymine form, as a strategic military commander, whatever. It's a commander of the Flood. First of all, it's this one. A heavy jump that will just happen once they meet a new target. They won't jump for the same target like multiple times. They just, like one time, just for target. Just once. As you can see, that's 275 health. That's something. Instead of like 225, how I don't remember what exactly was before that, but whatever. And besides the actual jump, they also have possessed the death aura. If I spawn a few human forms around him in a 21 by 21 block area, they will soon get some buff effects from their military commander or genius. And as you can see, those are the effects. Those are the buffs. Really cool, I might add. I see it's a bit interesting since these do not actually have ecosystem syndrome, not one. They do not have it. It's interesting, okay. So yeah, that being said, that's the Juggernaut form, reworked. Now, while on the road to reworkings and while mentioning them, we also have reworked the Enderman form in terms of sounds. Thank you, Thomas. That was really kind of you. New sounds have appeared into the mod, and they are really fitting and scary. You will hear it probably, and you'll know what I mean. Like, exactly I mean with the new sounds. But on that matter, let's get to new entities because we are running out of time. Because we still have the biggest thing yet to discover, the Blightlands. So next up, we have the bomber form. Creature of the Abyss. Bore. It was actually, I can say, like, it's actually gets its birth by in hell, like from the Protograve Mind. I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. I'm just so tired, like really. I don't know. Whatever. It's the bomber form. It possesses a few abilities. One, which is that they can throw bombs underneath them if following a target. That's one ability they do. They have and another one in which they get close to a target and they will actually try to grab it and rise with it in the sky, trying to ascend into the sky, I can say. These bombs drop pod infectors, as you can see. And yeah, it's flying enemy, as you know already. Let's just spawn another horsey. Can you... Are you blind? Is this guy blind? He might be. Bro. It's the horse. It's underneath you. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing, but kinda dumb. But yeah, if he's close to you and he also is low on health, he will explode just like a carrier form, releasing that and giving you these debuffs, which are very strong, I can say. We can spawn another one, just for the sake of it. He walked on a landmine, I think. Another landmine. Wow, this horse is crazy. What are you doing? Oh, he's heading for the sheep. Okay. Well, or nah, actually the chicken. It might be. Chicken, yeah, the chicken. The way the bomber forms spawn is actually very special because they can only spawn in Blightlands, and that therefore means that a Protograve Mine must exist, same as the Flooded Creeper. However, the Flooded Creeper can spawn in every place on the planet once Protograve Mine exists. These cannot, and therefore are only guardians of the Protograve Mine and not of the Blightlands, actually. Same has happened though with the Moth form and Tyrant form, which now have also changed the spawning criteria to only spawn when close to the Protograve Mine. That changed, okay? What that means is that they need to be in the Blightlands or at least close enough to the Protograve Mine so that they can spawn. The distance varies. For example, I think the Tyrant form was like 200 blocks and the Maw was like 120 blocks, but I don't know, something like that. However, the Maw form can only spawn in surface Blightlands. I'll show you what that means. The Tyrant form can spawn in both, but while being in a cave, of course. There's a, I think he grabbed a, yeah, he grabbed a pig. I think you guys saw that, whatever. And yeah, that's how it works. They only can now like spawn as guardians of the flood when a Protograve Mine exists. It's really interesting. It's intricate. Whatever. With that being said, that was the bomber form as well. And now, for my favorite out of this update, probably besides the grenadier form, which is actually really complex and cool, like how it spawns landmines that do not actually ignite when a flood walks on them. We have the tank form, which is yet another special entity that can only spawn when a Protograve Mine is active. And this one is even more special since its spawn terrain and distance varies with the intel cap of the flood, of the Protograve Mine actually. Intel cap, which I'm going to be talking about in just a minute. Firstly, let's take a look at the tank form, which has good armor, has good health, very good regeneration, good damage. But besides all that, he possesses something that no other creature from this mod has, and that is really well, or just really well developed fighting abilities. That's why he's depending on the Protograve Mine. He's a direct source to the Protograve Mine. That's why he's pure. You will see what I mean. As you can see, he just fainted that hit because he can do that. He can evade hits, and look, he just guarded right there. He was guarded that hit, and even if I like, look, he fainted just there. This is the guard state. Guard state for 4 seconds, in which he takes 8 times less damage. Yes, that's not a joke. There's also this state, in which he takes 4 times less damage. There's also the feint. If I can get him to do it once again. Yeah, like that. When he takes no damage. Of course. Technically speaking, this is kind of cool, right? But it's really hard to defeat this guy, like, just by normal creatures. Like, yeah, it's kind of... Even you. He also possesses this ability to spawn and spit out pod infectors. He can also go berserk like the brute and jump. Besides the guard, he has 3 attack animations and attack goals. One is the swish, one is the stab, and one is the box, in which he like takes like, I don't know, a strike at you, standing in his left feet and just launching at you. That's it. That's why I like him very much. He's very complex. Okay, yeah. With that being said, we are done with the tank form as well, and we are done with the basic mobs. Now it's time for the cool stuff. But even this was very cool. I mean, the reworked gun system and the mobs. I'm just like exhausted and like out of I'm like just a bit bored because this video took long. This video just I try to make like, this is the 3rd time I'm trying to film this, because yes, I did have that 1 hour that just went to waste, but I also had like 5 minutes before that, which was just a video, and when I had my microphone turned off. So yeah, very nice. What can I say? 2 mistakes, one after another. But yeah, let's just mess a bit with the game here and just disable the constant 0 waypoints so we can actually spawn the... Oh yeah, by the way, all commands now begin with Dawn of the Flood, as you can see, all of them. And there's also 2 new commands which rely on the Proto-Gravemind intel. There's the Dawn of the Flood set wave, which we can go ahead and put to 1. And as you can see, the ship falling has also been reworked, and I will not get that jump scare again from a base form because I had met one already, but they're here, trust me. Now I can do stop sound so that the sound actually stops, and yeah, that is a new reworked gun falling sound as it plays the flood theme on the background, in the background. Okay, next up on the list is the thing you guys actually waited a lot for, and this prolonged update and just everything in it, the rising tides, even his name. What does it mean? Like, try to guess, right? I'll try to explain it as well as I can, at least. Okay, so this new update brings in a new form, a new base form variant, actually, not form, which is called the Librarian, which is a special form as seen in Halo's books and lore, which has pure and mythic, not pure blood, like the royal blood, okay? Now, how it works is that these variants, even though rare, if the wave is at least 4, and if they get a kill in the cave underneath levels 30 in level Y, I'll explain why level 30, they will call all nearby flood forms to it. And if they get 5 close nearby at least, they will indeed form a proto gravemind 1 with intel by default set to 0. And that intel grows in 3 ways. First of all, if we spawn a tank form, that gives it 50 points. If the flood get a kill nearby the proto gravemind in like 100 block radius, there's a 10% chance that they get 5 points. And the simplest method and the main method, if the proto gravemind updates, is Blightlands biome. Actually, the biome grows even more. That adds 25 intel points. So now, if we do wave forward, technically a proto-grave mine should spawn, but this is kind of rare because I tested it. I mean, it's not rare, but it takes some time. So I won't actually wait because I tried to wait in the video I've recorded before, the failure one, and it didn't actually spawn naturally because it can take some time. So I'm just gonna force its spawn, okay, with not with commands, but with its spawn egg. Let me just get rid of all this crap, and here it is, the Blightlands. The tab. And this is the jump scare I've been talking about. And this is the Proto Grave Mine 1. With intel set to, how, 50? No, 60 actually, because they got 2 kills. Probably. That's why. And as we can see, a bomber farm just spawned because Proto Grave Mine intel actually exists, and now a Proto Grave Mine exists. Now, to show you everything and how big the Blightlands can actually get, I'll show you a video on the screen right now. Because I do not want to wait, and you guys don't want either, trust me, to see how well it can spread by itself in time. Because trust me, it does spread, but slowly. It's not that fast, okay? So that's why but still, you need to take care of it. So like, if you want to go exploring, you must defeat the Proto-Grave Mine, because it converts also ores and everything. Yeah, right. Besides that, the Proto-Grave Mine, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, can only spawn via a certain distance from you. So like, I think it was 200 blocks away or 300 blocks, something like that. So you can't really be like in the sky. That will not make it spawn, okay? That will not work. You need to be on the ground, but once you reach the surface, you will slowly in time a Proto-Grave Mine will spawn. Now let's go to the threshold I want to, so let's convert to Proto-Grave Mine 2. It's this. As you can see, the Proto-Grave Mine 2 has appeared. A lot of forms are starting to appear. And one more thing I haven't mentioned. I think you've heard the Grenadier form though. We have, in fact, added new sounds to the Flood combat forms, the base forms, the Marine. Let me just show you the Marine. New sounds. And also the Carrier. New sounds, yay. Ain't that cool? A lot of enemies right here, wow. Okay. Well, with this, now I'll explain the intel cap. As I said, they generate intel cap. Now, at each 300 points in that intel cap, the Flood unlocks a new ability. For example, brutes spawn with guns, or like Sankeli brutes and marines spawn with guns, whatever. Player forms learn to use potions. Human forms learn how to equip armor. Enderman forms become immune to water and stuff like that. For example, hordes can now spawn in like Intel Cap 5, for example, right? They won't spawn anymore from like pure chaos. They need a coordinator, and that is the Proto-Grave Mine. And yeah, I said it's 300 point threshold, but you can change that in the config. It's not as like a self-static value. You can change it in the config. Now, why do I say that this block infection? I haven't said. I think it was in the previous video, but I think it's one of the best things I've ever coded because it's unique, and you'll see why. I think you'll see in that video, and if not, you can just like try it for yourself. But I'll just tell you right now. However, besides those exclusive creatures that can only spawn when a Proto-Grave Mine is active, of course, I think this is the single one, if I'm not mistaken, then if I am, correct me please, that actually brings in 2 Blightland biomes. It brings in the Hive Blightlands, which will be at the surface, and the pure Blightlands, which will be near where the proto-great mine spawns. That's why it even has to be in levels under 30 on level Y. So like this level here is like 14 for now, yeah, right? It should be at least less than 30 for the Blightlands to spread. And as you can see, the Blightlands have spread in the orange manner. This is the pure manner, right? But if we go up, you can see the hive flood rocks, which is, you can see the hive, right, form, which is the green variant of the Blightlands. There's like two separate biomes. And that's why the moth form can only spawn in the surface one, the green one. The Tyan form can spawn in both as long as it is not in a cave. And the same with the bomber form, only like in the Blightlands. Now, I think that's kind of it. There's a lot more to it, like blocks like these and how they spawn. They like generate automatically based on a system I've made. It's really cool, and I really just want to make you guys check it out for yourselves, because I can't explain everything and just show everything, because like, bro, it's been a lot of time and I'm just so exhausted, and it's been hard for me, so, and for the rest of the team as well, to get this update done. I mean, not just done, but this video, man, like, come on, like, 1 hour gone to waste. You know how that feels? Like, you'll see what I mean, but whatever. We'll just slowly skim through each block to see to show you what they do. Okay, first of all, these two. These are very simple. These are just blocks, like self-static blocks. They do not actually do a lot of things. The infested pure block, which is special, since certain blocks can spawn on top of it, like hives, eggs and cocoons, peduncles, and whatnot. Then we have the hives, which come in two states, dormant and active. The active one spawns spawn infectors from time to time, and after like 2 or 3 minutes, it spawns into a dormant hive. Like it changes its state to dormant after it just was active, right? We have the blight flood cocoons, which, of course, they will grow into these blight flood big eggs, which they latch, and when an entity is close to them, and they release spawn infectors. Okay. We have the dripstones. We have the flood peduncles, which actually I want to show you these, because this like give you a new effect I've created. It's the flood fumes effect, and this effect basically makes items from your main hand fall from your inventory, and you'll need to pick them back from the ground. It gives you this sense of a drugged state, as you can see even the camera moving. That's why the made items fall from your main hand. And also, it makes a heartbeat sound, whatever, I mean, from time to time, you know. With that being said, that was kind of it based on the Blightlands. You will see that tank forms and stuff will spawn eventually, but they're not that common. I mean, because we do not want to pressure the player into too much, because then it gets too powerful, and this biome will be actually hard to explore, since that's what we want to achieve. And yeah, now I'm gonna go back to the surface and end the video, because I think this was all I wanted to explain. I think we saw the jump scares, we saw like everything really. What are you guys doing? Oh, the tank form is okay. It's, as you can see, look how much health and how many buffs it gets from the Juggernaut. That's strong. Okay, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy, honestly. He killed that in one. Okay, he killed that just by jumping. Oh, one more thing. I think my game sort of bugged. No, I'm not too sure. Wait, did it just bug? Because it's kind of moving like a bit crappy, and I don't know what exactly is going on. No, actually, I think it should be back to normal now. There's something I want to talk about, but I don't know why it's not working. Let me just spawn another one. This was what I wanted to talk about. this will happen if a proto grave mine exists and you return back to the ship. It's called the ship sinks cutscene. I don't know. It's just a cutscene that basically lets you know that the ship is going back home. Why? Well, think about it. Why would the Flood be so stupid to leave such a ship, such a treasure, for the player to find? It has served its purpose. Now it's going back to the source, where it came from, right? That's how it works. That's at least what I thought to make of it. With that being said, we have covered what I think is the best and biggest update of Dawn of the Flood, yet the second film again. This is not the first time I'm recording, and there's still a lot of stuff you guys must find out for yourselves, of course, which I will not show anymore because it's late and I have some other things to do as well. Like the video should appear today, right? So yeah, thank you all patrons, especially who helped us through these tough times, because we and when I mean we, I say me and the team have had some CurseForge budget cuts, I'd say, because something happened and we didn't get a lot of points. Like our points were reduced, and also our downloads were reduced to Mutation Craft, and that is not good because we still rely on Mutation Craft a lot. We still rely on it as a crutch to make our budget for the Dawn of the Flood, which is of course an expensive mod, and we've like invested so much time and effort into it. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, thank you to those guys especially, but then thank you to all the players that and of course the community that watches this video right here now and likes what we just did, because this is the biggest update in the books. Okay, this is the real thing, and there's not even like what I showed here is it's not everything. There's still a lot more things that are left to find out for you, as like the cutscenes, which I almost forgot about, the sounds for the combat forms and carrier forms, which I forgot about. So yeah, there's still a few things you guys must find for yourselves. But thank you for watching, and smash that like button, subscribe, send this video to all your friends, and all people from your city should know about this video and that this video exists. We want to make this as popular as possible to get some attention drawn on to this video and this update, because it's actually really special. So thank you once again. My pleasure was here and it was met by you guys. So on that note, see you and have a nice day.
Wait. Before you actually exit the video, let's take a minute to celebrate and commemorate 1 year with Dawn of the Flood. Something very important that I almost forgot about, right? Let's all say happy birthday to Dawn of the Flood, because today it turns 1 year old. Happy birthday, our angel mod.